Today we're making a really easy thing for Easter, braised short ribs in the Instant Pot. And so to start, what I have right here are some short ribs, boneless short ribs. To that, some carrots, chopped up carrots, just roughly chopped, nothing fancy, all in there, about 3 good sized carrots. And then to that, I'm gonna add 2 cups of beef stock, some tomato paste, salt, pepper. Make sure the beef is completely submerged in the liquid. Lid on in the sealing position, and go ahead and set it for a 69-minute pressure cook. Just let the Instant Pot do its thing. When it's safe and everything has depressurized, short ribs first. What we're going to do is gently lift everything out, and I really stress gently because those carrots are soft. The meat is very tender, but you don't want to ruin the shape of anything. So just put the lid on, cancel the keep warm setting, and turn it on to saute. What we have here is about 1/3 cup of Madeira and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Just give this a shake. Make sure all that cornstarch is dissolved. So the reason I'm adding the Madeira like this is because I don't want that alcohol to not be able to escape. It needs to evaporate. And in the pressure cooker, it wouldn't really be able to go anywhere, and I find sometimes it gets a little bitter. So at the end, it really just brightens everything up really nicely. And also boiling out gets rid of most of the alcohol. So dump it in, whisking while you do it, and let this come up to a boil. Coming up to a boil, once it comes up to a boil, let it boil for 1 minute to fully cook out the cornstarch. Once your minute has passed, pour it right over the carrots and the short ribs just to keep everything nice and hot. So it's time to start making the risotto. The first thing I'm going to do is turn my Instant Pot onto the saute setting. Sometimes I just throw a little butter in and wait for it to melt. When the butter's all the way melted, you can go ahead and add a small white onion chopped up and a cup of arborio rice. Give it a little stir just to coat everything with the butter, and let this sit and kind of brown. Stir every now and then, but you really want to get brown. Everything's starting to brown up really nicely, and the browning is really important. It just adds a lot of flavor. Toast the butter, toast the arborio rice, and sautés the onion. What we're going to add next is some Chardonnay. One of these little bottles is perfect. Really going to reduce this down to almost nothing. It'll get soaked up by the rice mainly. Once almost all of the white wine is absorbed by the rice, there's almost nothing left. Go ahead and add 1/4 of chicken stock or vegetable stock if you want to make this vegetarian. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Cancel out the saute function. Select pressure cook, and you want a 7-minute pressure cook. So just make sure this is in the sealing position. You've heard it beep, so you know it's on. And go ahead and let it do it. Preparing the peas for this dish is really easy. All you need is some boiling water, 2 cups of peas approximately. I think this is a 12-ounce frozen package. Just put all the frozen peas in the boiling water. We're just heating them up. We don't want them frozen. Make sure you salt the water too. Once the peas are a really nice bright green color, go ahead and turn off the heat and drain them. To make sure they stay that bright green color, put them in some cold water. Might seem kind of silly heating them up and cooling them down, but it's important that they stay nice and bright. So now with an immersion blender, blend up your peas. You're going to end up with a pink mash, just like, or with a green mash, just like that. So it couldn't be easier to finish the risotto. Go ahead and take off the lid. Give everything just a little stir. Add in just a little bit of Parmesan cheese, pea puree, all of it. Put it right on top. Stir that in too. Pour everything right in. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want is some risotto. Right on top. And find some carrots and just put them here and there and everywhere. With the gravy on top, perfect. Then to finish it off, just a little bit of parsley. That's it. Braised short ribs with spring pea risotto, and I think that's a really good, fun thing to cook for Easter.